You're watching the Weekend 15 on TV Platinum, your in-depth roundup of the 15 biggest stories shaping Nigeria this week, from politics to power struggles, governance to grassroots voices. Let's rewind and break it all down for you. The week began with the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi faulting comments by the Minister of Works Umahi, claiming that the Southeast should not seek the presidency in 2027. In an interview with the news agency of Nigerians Sunday, Umahi called on politicians from the region to shelve their ambitions and support President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid. Obi, through his media aide and national coordinator of the Obedient Movement, Yunusa Tanko, insisted that only Nigerians, not political elites, can decide who becomes president, stressing that performance, not zoning, should guide leadership choices. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the African Democratic Congress ADC have strongly criticized President Bola Tinubu's decision to grant presidential pardons to several convicted criminals, including drug traffickers. In a statement issued on Sunday by ADC National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi, described the move as pathetic and a national disgrace, saying it undermines Nigeria's fight against drugs. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar described the decision as shocking and indefensible, warning that the move undermines justice and erodes public trust at a time of rising insecurity in the country. Senator representing Kogi Central Natasha Agboti Uduahan has called for an end to cultural norms that silence women and promote shame over self-worth. The Kogi lawmaker, who spoke at an event to mark the 2025 International Day of the Girl Child on Sunday in Abuja, noted that the society must unlearn traditions that blame women and suppress their voices. She called on girls to embrace self-awareness as the key to achieving their dreams and challenged women to be bold and fearless in breaking stereotypes. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has warned those attempting to disrupt preparations for the People's Democratic Party PDP National Convention scheduled for November 15 to 16 in Ibadan, Oyo State, describing such actions as political suicide. Speaking to journalists in Abuja after inaugurating the PDP National Convention Transportation Subcommittee, Makinde vowed that Oyo would host the most successful convention in the party's history. He noted that despite recent defections and internal divisions, the PDP remains a strong institution capable of self-renewal. Several aggrieved politicians have recently joined an ADC-led opposition coalition ahead of the 2027 general elections. Senator Orji Uzor Kalu says the All Progressives Congress APC will not depend on political defections to secure victory in the 2027 presidential elections. Speaking on TVC Journalist Hangout, the former Abia State Governor stressed that the ruling party's growing support in the Southeast is the result of hard work, consistency, and sacrifice, not opportunism. Kalu, who chairs the Senate Committee on Southeast Development Commission, said the APC is focused on performance and results, not political noise. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy Wale Dun has reportedly traveled to the United Kingdom for medical treatment. Multiple sources confirmed the development to Punch newspapers on Tuesday following an earlier report by Western Post. According to the report, Adun departed Abuja for Lagos on Monday night aboard a commercial flight before heading abroad for treatment. His associates say the move had been under consideration for weeks and the minister finally made the decision due to health concerns. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has criticized governors and leaders of the People's Democratic Party PDP who recently defected to the All Progressives Congress APC, saying the move vindicates his early support for President Bola Tinubu. Wike, during the flag-off of the main carriageways on the outer Southern Expressway in Abuja on Wednesday, said those who once accused him of destabilizing the PDP are now joining the APC. Proof he noted that his political stance was justified, adding that the governors should rather commend him for doing a good job of paving the way for them to join the ruling party. He described the defections as a worthwhile decision that reflects growing confidence in the current administration, commending President Tinubu's leadership for providing state with sufficient resources to pay salaries and execute key projects. Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Diri has resigned from the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The governor made the announcement on Wednesday during the weekly State Executive Council meeting held at the Government House in Yenagoa. The Chief Press Secretary to the governor, Daniel Alabra, in a post on Facebook, stated that the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Abraham Inobere, and all PDP members in the Assembly also resigned alongside the governor. The governor's exit from the party brings to an end months of speculations. The Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, says Nnamdi Kanu's ailment is not life-threatening. The medical panel set up on the orders of Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court Abuja submitted its findings on Thursday. The judge had directed the NMA to independently assess the health of the detained IPOB leader following conflicting reports from the TSS and Kanu's defense team. The panel's conclusion affirms that while Kanu has certain health conditions, his situation does not pose an immediate risk to his life. The court is expected to determine the next steps regarding his medical treatment and continued detention. The senators confirmed Professor Joash Amupita as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). His confirmation followed a voice vote by lawmakers after screening and questioning during Thursday's plenary. According to Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Amupita was cleared by the Office of the National Security Advisor (NSA), the Department of State Services (DSS), and the Inspector General of Police, which confirmed he has no criminal record. The screening session focused on Amupita's plan for credible elections, institutional reforms, and greater use of technology in Nigeria's electoral process. With his confirmation, the new INEC chairman is expected to lead preparations for upcoming off-cycle governorship polls and the 2027 general elections. In the fight against terrorism, Defense Headquarters has intensified operations across the northern region. Director of Defense Media Operations Major General Marcus Gangi told journalism Thursday that the military is focused on combating Wulu, a faction of the Boko Haram terrorist group currently active in Kwara State and other parts of north-central Nigeria. His statement comes in response to concerns raised by Governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Saleh, who highlighted the emergence of the Wulu group in the region. National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) has distanced itself from a planned protest reportedly organized by activist Omoyele Sowore and his associates. President of the union Olushola Oladoja, who spoke to journalists on Thursday in Ibadan, Oyo State, described reports linking the students' body to the proposed #Free Nnamdi Kanu protest scheduled for October 20 as false, misleading, and mischievous. He stressed that the union would not participate in any protest related to ongoing legal proceedings involving the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, citing the importance of rule of law and warned students against being used by selfish and politically motivated individuals. Oladoja accused Sowore and his allies of exploiting the union's name for political gain, stressing that the union remains focused on education, youth development, peace, and national unity. Abia State Governor Alex Suti has warned politicians plotting to rig the 2027 governorship election to abandon such plans, stressing that the will of God and the people will prevail. Speaking during the October edition of Alex Suti Speaks to Abians in Umahi, Oti said while he welcomes healthy competition, anyone attempting to manipulate the process will face their consequences. The statement was in response to comments attributed to Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu, who boasted that the APC will take over Abia State in 2027. The political rivalry between Peter Obi and Nyesom Wike intensified as the FCT minister's aide Lere Olayinka mocked Obi as an internally displaced politician with no clear path to 2027. Olayinka was responding to Obi's criticism of the poor state of FCT public schools, accusing him of relying on media sympathy and repetitive stories instead of real political strategy. He questioned whether any political party would still give Obi a presidential ticket, saying his popularity was fast fading. Lastly, the Federal High Court in Abuja has rejected an attempt by the Nigeria Police Force to halt the planned Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest scheduled for Monday, October 20, 2025. The protest, organized by activist Umahi aims to demand the release of detained IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. The Inspector General of Police, Kaide Botekun, had earlier filed an ex parte motion seeking to legally stop the protest from taking place near Asarok. However, Justice Umahi declined the request, ruling that such an order could not be granted without hearing from the other party. The decision means the protest can proceed legally unless a new court ruling says otherwise, setting the stage for a major public demonstration in the nation's capital. And that's your Week in 15. Stay informed, stay empowered. For deeper dives into these stories, stay with TV Platinum, where the news meets clarity. Thank you for watching. I am God's gift, Julius.